Memorial Day holds a special place in my heart, and not just because I served, and not just because I lost my late husband in the line of duty, but because it reminds me of how fragile and precious our time, our impact, and our calling really are. Every year, my family and we come to DC. We visit Arlington. Dee isn't buried here. However, we have a lot of friends who are, and we have friends whose loved ones are buried here as well. We visit the National Mall, but really we take time to time to reflect, time to honor the freedoms that we hold and those who paid the ultimate sacrifice to help ensure them. And I just wanted to share this message today. My name is Tami, and welcome to the Full Weight of Joy podcast. I am so thankful that you're here. I am so thankful that you saw the title of this and still wanted to listen and know that this isn't about just those who've lost loved ones in the military, but this is really I'm asking you to take a look at your life, take a look at your impact, and ask yourself some questions, because when we remember things, we reflect, but we also are grateful. And so you don't have to be in the uniform to serve. You don't need a title to lead, but every one of us has a legacy to leave. It's through how we show up, it's what we give our time to, and it's how we live on purpose. Life is too short, too limited to wait for later to take action. So why do we celebrate Memorial Day? I think it's a little bit of an oxymoron when people are like, Happy Memorial Day. But Memorial Day matters even beyond military service. We take the time, we honor those who sacrifice for our greater mission. We take time to reflect on the freedoms that we're given in this United States, in this great nation. And though we may not always see eye to eye, a little tongue in cheek there, the reason why we get to talk about what we agree with and what we don't agree with, the reason why we get to even have an opinion is because of the freedoms we're given. So it's also a time to reflect on what it means to live with conviction, to live a life of service, and also to live courageously. Memorial Day is, well, as you could imagine, for my family, Memorial Day is an everyday occurrence. We remember our friends, our family members. But when I lost Dee, when I got the knock on the door, it really shifted. It shifted something in my life. Not only did I lose my husband, my kid's father, my best friend, my high school sweetheart, and my hopes and my dreams of the future, but I went through an identity crisis, and I really started on this journey to discover what my purpose is. Because what does it all mean? What does it all matter? So the real question isn't, what are you doing? It's, what are we living for? What drives us to get up in the morning and take action? What is our why that allows us to push past our comfort zone? And what does it mean to live, like truly live, and not just manage our life, and not just make plans for later, but to really live, to truly live, to take action? And when I stopped managing my life and started living it, when I stopped because even we get in this rut where it seems like we just are helping our kids live their best lives. I joke because someone's, oh, so what are your hobbies? I'm like, oh, taking my kids to live their best lives. But it's because that's what I enjoy doing. I love watching them excel and succeed and try for something and achieve it. I love being able to comfort them when the success doesn't always happen and they have to take a look and they have to try harder. I love that teaching moment, that moment that I can just be there with them and say, yeah, tomorrow's a new day. But I want you to take a moment to just pause. I want you to think about what you are living for. Are your actions aligned with your values? Are they? Because when I start looking and we start managing things, right? We get in this flow, we get in this cycle of just getting things done. And if you're not intentional about having your actions align with your values, a lot of times it doesn't naturally happen. It doesn't happen in a way that just, I look back and all of my values came to fruition. No, we have to take intentional steps. And I look every week, I ask myself, where are my values showing up? Now, it would be a great life if everything on our calendar, were our top 3 core values. I know that's not really really viable. Like, I know that's not really a thing because paying bills, I would say in the top 100, you wouldn't see paying bills. However, integrity and taking care of responsibilities and things, those are in there. But again, like, our actions need to reflect what matters to us. Our calendar needs to reflect what matters to us. And so I just want to encourage you this week. I want to encourage you to take some time and ask yourself, like, what do you want to be remembered for? What legacy are you building through your leadership, big or small, at home or with others? Because no matter if if you're living, if you're breathing, you've been called to lead something, whether it's your life, whether it's others, whether it's in directly or indirectly, whether you're a parent, whether you're an aunt, whether you're an uncle. We're called to leadership. We're called to impact. We're called to make a difference. We're called to serve. And the last question I want you to think of is, where do you need to realign your life with your deeper purpose? When we allow ourselves to ask these questions and really answer them, allow yourself to be honest. And because a lot of times we're afraid of what the answer is. Don't be afraid. Give yourself this gift of acknowledgement and recognition of bringing it to light, because when things are brought to light, they lose power. And we can gain momentum. When they're brought to light, then we can see the why and we can go for what we want and make those shifts and changes, because it's not just about what we do. It's not just about the actions themselves, but it's the why behind. And the biggest thing I want you to do is I want you to look at those things. What do you want to be remembered for? What legacy are you building through your leadership? And where do you need to realign your life with your deeper purpose? And I want you to do something that I have cultivated this practice in my life, but it's the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is grounding. It shifts from performance into presence. It allows us to be grateful for things that we have and things that we're going to have or going to get or things we're going to do. It's really more about just being in the moment and being thankful. Like, we all know there is so much, I don't know why I'm losing words today, so much evidence about how gratitude shifts our perspective, how gratitude grounds us and it elevates our life, it enhances our life. It allows us to really live life. Because if we don't acknowledge the things, like if we don't sit and we talk about what we're grateful for, a lot of times we will blow past them. We won't see the gratefulness around us. This year I've started the practice, and like my word of the year is favor. And here we are, we're almost halfway through the year. Can you believe that? And I ask myself each week, where has favor shown up in my life? And even as little things happen, I show my gratefulness for the favor of God, for the favor that came that I didn't expect or I did not deserve, but it just came because God is a good God. And so take this gratitude as a grounding practice and shift from performance into presence. Be in the moment, because you come so far. And when you start looking at the gratefulness, when you look at the gratitude, things shift because you see where you came from. You see where you started. And then you can also get an idea from where you want to go. And it encourages your capacity to lead deeper, to lead with more impact, to lead through heart and not just your head or gut. And so I want you to take a moment. And here's along with those questions, like apparently today is going to be a day of homework, but let's face it, Memorial Day in memory is when we sit and we reflect. It's all about taking a look and taking some time to center, to ground yourself, to be grateful, to honor, to reflect. And so just take a moment, and I want to do a gratitude as a leadership practice. Here's some ideas. Write a letter to someone who's impacted you. Whether you want to send it or not, that's up to you. Somebody impacted you in a really positive way. Let's say that, because we can write a letter to someone who did us dirty and we can feel really good. But that also, when we focus on that, when we're writing that, when we're spending time thinking about, that's where our heart's going to go. So write a letter to someone who's impacted you in a positive way. Whether you send it or not, I want to encourage you to take the bold action to send it. Whether it's a text, whether it's an email, or a handwritten letter that you can mail and someone can get in a couple of days. Take 5 minutes to reflect on a lesson you've learned from a hard lesson. One of the things that I have worked really hard to do for myself, and I've tried to teach the kids to do this, one of them understands it more than the other, but take 5 minutes to reflect on a lesson, a lesson from a hard season. Take time to look at something you've been through and see something that you've learned through it that you are grateful for. There's so many things in my life that I would not want to go through again. And yet, if I had to do over, I wouldn't make any difference changes. I would still do it. I would still all the questions like, oh, if you had to do it over, it's like that's not even a fair question. But some of the things that I've learned, some of my relationship with Christ that I have, I would not give up for anything. I would not give up for more comfort or to take away some of the grief, because when I leaned into the grief, not only did I learn how much I loved, but I learned how much joy is possible. So take 5 minutes to reflect on a lesson learned from a hard season. And then another thing you could do is write down, thank your past self for making it through what you've made it through, for being who you are, being someone who's scrappy and didn't give up. Because one thing I know for 100% truth, that you are here and because you've made it through the hardest thing in your life, whatever that is. And not saying it might not be the hardest thing that you'll go through in life, but I hope that the rest of your life is easy. However, that old adage that like the hard life makes great men and then great men make comfortable. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to find that little adage where it basically talks about how it's the hard times that makes a good character, that develops the character. And then when we go through good times, that weakens our character. If we have extended period of really good, easy life, we get complacent, we get comfortable, we forget these skills we forget our practices that keep us alive. And so today, I just want you to take some time to reflect. And if you're bold enough, write a letter to yourself or to someone who's impacted you. And then ask yourself, a hard season you went through, what is a lesson you learned? What is something you want to never forget? And who did you become because of it? Not like everything can be used for good. Everything can be used for good. And it's something that we have to choose because we can see the hard, we can see the suck in everything. But those who take the lessons, those who are grateful and can take time to honor those people who came before us, as well as the life and just who we were before, and those who came before. That's what makes life matter. That's what it drives us. It pushes us to be better than we were yesterday and to make the impact even when we're uncomfortable, to take the action even when we don't see what's next, and allow us to really dive in and go for who we're called to be, to align with our deeper purpose and to become the person God's called us to be, to find out how we're wired. And I just want to encourage you today. I just want to encourage you. If something's stirred inside of you, if you're ready to lead with more clarity and courage and intention, send me a message. If you want to begin building your life and leadership around what truly matters, I'd love to walk that road with you. I'd love to show you the path that I've taken and so many before you. I'd love to show you what's possible when you say yes to yourself. So friend, get on my calendar. Let's get on a call and let's just talk about what it means for you to live with clarity, courage, and intention. Because I guarantee it's not the same thing that it means for me. We may have current elements. However, we're so personal. Our experiences are so unique that sometimes it takes someone to say, do you not see what God's been doing in your life? Do you not see how everything you've been through is built you to this moment to take that courageous action? There we go. All right, friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time that you spent. I encourage you to take some time today or this week, whenever you're listening to this episode. And I am so grateful for you. I wouldn't even have this podcast if it wasn't for you to keep tuning in and listening. If you haven't left me a rate or review, please consider doing that. It means a lot to me and it helps others find the podcast. I've got some exciting things coming up this summer for the podcast. I've got a big change coming with the podcast. And if you want to be in the know, if you want to know before the know, reach out to me, get on my email list. And I'm starting a new email this summer talking to just ways to inspire you throughout the week, ways of reflection moments and things that you can do to build your leadership, to live with clarity, courage, and intention. All right, friend, that is all. Thank you again. And choose joy until joy chooses you. And I can't wait to see you soon. Bye for now.